All right, what are the conversations, if any, when some of these, they're guys that have shot 30% from three on the season, knocked down a bunch early, and just kind of the way that you guys maintained, game plan, discipline, and didn't overreact to some of that stuff?
I think that's the biggest thing is not overreacting. I mean, I feel like, we got to make sure if a guy hits 2 or 3 shots in a row, your closer kind of gets a little bit more aggressive. But again, that was our game plan. If they beat us, you just tilt your hats to them. I mean, I think we did a better job later on. But the main thing is just getting their plan A guys under control. And I think we did a good job of doing that. And I mean, if all three, I think it was like 3 of them who shoot 30%, hitting threes like that. So sometimes it's like, all right. And I mean, they still only scored, I think it was like 108. And that comes from more just making sure the plan A guys are held under control.
Yeah, I think you guys were plus 30 in the paint.
Yeah.
Is the ability to shut off the paint, was that related to stopping their plan A guys?
Yeah, mixture. I think a mixture of stopping their plan A guys and then just making sure we rotate as a team. I think our biggest thing, what makes us so special, is that we're playing team defense. I thought there was a couple times where we got stops but didn't get the rebound, and so I think we kind of got that more under control later on, and so yeah.
You were part of that sequence in the first half where there was like 8 passes on the same possession. It ends up with Ooze scoring on the end.
He should have finished the first. I was pissed. I told him already, but it turned out good. I mean, again, that's just us playing team basketball, making the right play, and but Ooze definitely owes me an assist for sure.
There was another play I wanted to ask you about. Your block on Robert Williams. I mean, I feel like you were out at the logo, like hedging on that screen, and then recovered. How early did you kind of read how that play was unfolding?
I mean, you kind of read the play. I mean, again, trying to get the ball out of the plan A guy in Simons. I think Dub did a good job of just giving me time, not committing too early, kind of playing that cat and mouse game to help me get back. I mean, we watched some film about it the last couple of days, just not over committing in certain situations. And I think he did a great job of just giving me time to come back. And that goes back to team defense. It's not me just making a great play. It's a ripple effect. It's someone getting in the ball of Simons, me blitzing, getting out of his hands, Dub being there, and the backside also being there. And that gives me time to come back. So it's not just my play, it's the whole team play that ends up being like that.
And then just for you personally, how'd you feel first game back?
Good. Couldn't hit a free throw to save my life, but it was good. Everything else was good, so.
Yeah, you have the best season for your career so far, like averaging double-double. Looking through your whole career, starting from the Rockets, it seems rough in the first place because a lot of Chinese audience notice you because you're competing with another center.
Yeah, so cheap.
Is there a time point that you notice it, like everyth's changed? I can play from outdoor sports.
I felt like I could always play. I mean, I think that's, especially coming in the league as a young guy, you have to find your role. And I think the first 2 years, especially with the Rockets, I didn't really know my role at that point. I think I had to get a lot better on defense, a lot better rebounding, and I worked on it a lot. Instead of just blaming the coach for not playing me, it was more, what can I do to get on the court? And I worked on those things. So now, like, defense and rebounding went from like a weakness now to a strength of mine, and that just comes from just working hard, being in the present moment. And but yeah, I mean, it kind of started all probably with T. Lue with the Clippers. I mean, he really gave me a chance. He really kind of let me play my game. But again, I wouldn't be at that position if I didn't have to go through the things with the Rockets. And so, yeah, I think even though the Rockets wasn't the experience I thought it was going to be, I wouldn't change it for anything because it helped me get to where I am today.
Yeah, for now, obviously this team have a Thunder style. It's like one of the kind. How is this kind of style helping you to building that kind of performance on like both sides?
It's perfect. I mean, I'm a team player, and I feel like we play team basketball. offensively, defensively. I mean, we have a MVP player playing great defense night in, night out. I think he leads the league in blocks from a guard. He makes the hustle plays. He's a team guy. And then we have an all-star in Dub, who's, to me, probably one of the most underrated defenders in the league. He can play 1 through 5. I mean, today he had I think Grant trying to dunk on him. He had a great block. And I think just having your whole team from top to bottom bought into playing team basketball, I think that's what makes us special.
You guys were tested in the fourth. How do these games, you come back, you find a way to win this game? How does this help you guys out moving forward? Situations like this.
It's big. I mean, for us, it's no matter who we're playing, we're trying to build the right habits. So if it's games where we're maybe blowing someone out, we're still trying to stay focused, build the right habits, and not kind of play into the other team's game, even if it's a sloppy game. So I think any situation you can get in a season, you have to use it, and that's what we're focused on.
Could you tell on the floor that they were going for it there in the fourth quarter, maybe to get that signature win over the number one team in the West?
I thought I was always under control. I think in the third there was a kind of a little stint where they had multiple offensive rebounds, where we kind of weren't playing our game, but in the fourth we had it under control the whole time. Again, like you said, you had guys shooting 30% from three, hitting step back threes. So it's sometimes you have to just tip your hat to them. But we had it under control the whole fourth. I didn't really think we didn't have it under control. So.
A year about you playing off of Hart and just that connection continuing to grow, and even with both of you out, you've come back, and even today, just it felt like that connection even took another step forward. What's that like working with him in tandem?
Oh, it's been good. It's been good, and it's been pretty easy the way that we play as a unit out there to integrate that into the court. Obviously, he creates action very well, and we kind of go hand in hand with that. So just continue to improve on that. It's been good.
And then you just continue to find openings for yourself, like the baseline out of bounds play. What's key in little situations like that?
First off, good job by the coaching staff, and then being able to go out there and execute it. Everybody doing what they're supposed to, and it just leads to open look because it's hard to guard everything.
You were part of that second quarter stretch where you guys were able to, regain momentum in the lead. What was working for you guys to, regain momentum after being down by 10 early?
Yeah, getting stops, first and foremost, being able to get stops and rebounds. But then on the offensive end, I think we played the right way. Ball was moving, had energy. Everybody out there was going. And so, all five out there contributed to that run. But I think it started on the defensive end.
And then the fourth quarter, they just were still hanging around and putting a lot of pressure on you guys. What was key to kind of just holding them off?
Yeah, good team. They've been playing well lately. I believe they won their last 4. So we knew that they weren't going to go away without a fight. They did well at that end, but we just had to stay true to our game scheme, defensively, offensively. Trust our stuff is what we did, and, helped us get the win.
Coach said you guys should play your own style, and you also said you guys should have your own style in the last couple of interviews. How would you define the team style by using like 3 vocabularies, something like that?
Aggressive, together, and just like hard nose. Yeah.
Do you think everybody was aligned by that?
For sure. To be able to hold a team off like that, that's really hot, especially not like tonight. I think a few of our guys went for like 14 threes. You just got to be together, be connected, and just be the more aggressive team, get all the loose balls, the rebounds, things like that.
What changes when iHeart is out there?
I think is very noticeable when he's out there because he's getting offensive rebounds, or he's allowing some of the guards to crash and get offensive rebounds because he just draws so much attention when it comes to that. Then he creates action very well. He sets great screens. Defensively, he's everywhere as well, I think. But just being on the boards really helps.
Game pressure on you all at different portions of the game from the very opening minutes, just knocking down shots, and then again late to cut the game to 5. And I just wonder about what you saw from your team and their response to those different like layers to the game.
Yeah, I thought that was a great win for a number of reasons. Number one, they've played really well lately and came in with a lot of confidence. Number two, you look around the league right now, anybody's beating anybody. It's kind of the dog days, and it requires great mental toughness to win consistently this time of year. And then they made some shots. I mean, Isaiah Hartenstein and Kamara made 14 threes between them, which is a lot of threes for those guys, and really tested our conviction on our game plan and obviously put a lot of game pressure on us. So for us to endure that and still have a good defensive night and come out with a win was really impressive to me.
Yeah, speaking of Kamara, you have coaching a lot of great defensive players in your team, but at the Blazers side, how would you see Tumani's defense? And also, this is his career night, having the highest score, 24 points.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kamara's a good player. He's got positional length, and he's got a great motor. He reminds me of like a Herb Jones type disruptor because he's big, but he also pressures. He plays up the floor. He tries to deny, and was disruptive tonight. And then offensively, obviously he's a role player, but he drilled shots tonight and really hurt us. So he had a great night. Credit him. They put a lot of pressure on us. So we're happy to get a win coming out of here.
You get both Isaiah's back, and they both made an impact right away.
Yeah, Hart, I thought was great. Just a really balanced night for him. Good spacing, good passing, good screening, and then the offensive rebounding. He had that possession that was a huge swing possession in the game. And Ijo was really good. I thought he really helped that second unit, especially in the beginning of the second quarter. That group had a really nice rhythm on both ends of the floor, and he was a big part of that. So it was great to have both those guys back.
During the last visit, you kind of have a small lineup in the rotation, but this time you put on Usman and also put in Dylan. How is those big guys coming back? Also Isaiah. What would you expect when even Chad is coming back? Those big guys, what can they offer to the team?
Yeah, we want to be a team that can play different lineups on different nights and pick at different matchups, and we want to be a very adaptive team, and so having Hart coming back, getting him back in the mix was important. Jay Wills played well in his absence, and we wanted to stick with him, but we obviously have the ability to go small, so I thought Oos gave us really good minutes tonight, especially to start the second quarter with that group, and so we just want everybody to be playing at their peak and to their strengths, and then we can deploy a lot of different lineups as needed, and that's our deal.
I know they took and made a bunch of threes, but they only scored 22 points in the paint. Just had not much success there. What did you all do well defensively to take that away?
Yeah, the top two guys for us are Simons and Grant, and Simons was 3 for 10. And was really quiet in the first half, even on attempts. I think he only had 5 attempts in the first half, and Grant was, I think, 0 for 2 or something like that, 2 for 5. I don't know what he was, but it was really low attempts. And that's a good way to start. Take away those guys, take away the rim. We were good on the offensive glass in the first half, or defensive glass in the first half. Second half, they started crashing more, but we wanted to make those other guys make contested shots, and they did. And so that's why I said it tests your conviction. But we stuck with it and let it win the day, and had a good enough night defensively and a good enough night offensively to come away with a win.
That sequence that ends in the Usman dive to the rim and one, just what goes through your head as a coach when you see that level of passing, cutting, off-ball movement?
Yeah, great possession. And we had a couple of really good possessions with that group in the first half. They just had a great team rhythm, kept the ball moving, but were attacking. Active spacing, cutting, and that possession was one of the best possessions of the year. It was really, really good.
Is this another one of those games where you're tested late and you guys pass the test, get the challenge?
Yeah, I thought there was some game pressure down the stretch there. We had to string together stops. We had to string together scores. We had to execute on both ends of the floor. And I thought we rose to that tonight. Again, I think people could look at the records coming into the game and assume something, but, they were playing really well. And it's a time of year that's really hard to win consistently. These are hard games to win. We don't take them for granted. We don't take for granted the effort that it takes by the team to come out of here against a team that was playing great and get a win.